The Great Wave, inspired by a woodcut by Hokusai. Text by Véronique Massignon, illustrations by Bruno Pilorget. Aki and Taro were childless. The summer of their lives was nearing an end, but they had neither a boy nor girl to give them joy. The couple had waited very long, and they had tried everything they knew to have a child. They had eaten countless herbs and special foods. They had even prayed fervently and given offerings in the temple. At last they felt their hope was gone. The child they had so desired did not come. There were so many nights of tears and sorrow. But then suddenly, a miracle. It happened on an icy cold day in winter. The wind raged over the sea and threw mighty waves upon the land, but the men of the village still had to go out to catch fish. For winter was a season of hunger, and no fish meant even less to eat. 3 long ships set out from the harbor. Together they fought the stormy surf, ascending wave after wave to the crests and falling back again into the troughs. The men advanced in this way, wave upon wave, waiting for the right moment. They had fish to catch, whatever the cost. Then, just as they prepared to throw out their nets, an enormous wave rose up in front of them. It rose like a gigantic creature opening its foamy mouth, greedily swallowing up everything before it. Fishermen, nets, boats, everything. The men held their breath in fear, clinging to the ships and ducking down. Some even closed their eyes. When they looked out again, the wave had broken. The brave fishing group had been spared. Soon the sea became as calm as the men's silent relief. But this quiet was penetrated by a small, angry cry, and Taro was heard to shout, "Look! That wet bundle there is a child! A brand new life! The wave has set it down in our boat!" Taro's heart beat more wildly than all the drums of the world together. He took the baby boy in his arms, and the crying child fell silent. Taro smiled. The child so long awaited and so long hoped for had arrived at last. The happy years passed. Naoki, the boy from the sea, had a mighty appetite. He ate bowl after bowl of delicious rice, yet he did not grow any bigger. Now his 7th birthday was drawing near, and he'd barely grown an inch. Aki was worried. Would he always stay so small? And Taro often thought, how could he ever become a proper fisherman? But the wise parents had come to know patience. Maybe their child didn't want to grow. Maybe they only had to wait a little longer. Wasn't it a great joy just to hold such a tiny life in their arms? Naoki waited to grow as well, while all of his friends shot upwards faster than bamboo. The boy often sat on the trunk of an old pine tree that stretched its branches out over the water. As he sat, Naoki's thoughts drifted across the sea, coming and going like the water's ebb and flow. The thoughts tormented him with hundreds of questions. Why am I not like the other children? Why did I not come from my mother's belly? Did a woman or a mysterious wave bring me into this world? Who is my real father? Who is my mother? Whom should I truly love? One day, as he was sitting on his tree trunk, Naoki spied a beautiful fish beneath him. Its scales shimmered like silver, and it swam back and forth excitedly, as if wanting to speak. The boy leaned down, and the fish smiled at him. He leaned down further, and the fish called out his name. Then Naoki leaned as far as he could, and fell headfirst into the sea. Underwater, the fish seemed enormous. Its impressive whiskers were curly and black, and its voice rich and strong. "Hello, little man. Come with me. I know who can answer your questions." Naoki swam behind him as if he too had fins. As the boy and the fish got farther from shore, their surroundings changed. The water became darker and colder, and the current stronger and stronger. Naoki clung tightly to his friend just to keep going. "I thought everything was nice and calm under the sea," the boy said to himself. "I thought you could collect coral, hide among the water lilies, play with starfish, and find lost treasure." But the silent fish could not hear Naoki's thoughts, and the two dived deeper and deeper into the dark underworld. Then, without warning, they plunged into a whirlpool, and Naoki was seized with panic. With all his might, the boy pulled at the fins of his scaly companions. The fish reared up and swam more slowly, at last coming to a stop. Where are you bringing me? I don't want to go further. I'm cold and I'm scared. Please turn around. My parents might be worried. I want to go back to them, and quickly too. At these words, the animal's silver scales trembled and shone with joy. The back of the fish lengthened and began to move like a wave. Its body became larger and larger, sprouting mighty feet with sharp golden claws from its fins. The fish had turned into a dragon. "Hold on tight," roared the dragon. With a single blow of its tail, the dragon thrust itself out of the ocean, flew over the volcano, and placed the boy gently upon his dearly loved beach. "Goodbye, my friend," he said, from a cloud above the sea. "Go now, you no longer need me." Naoki didn't speak. As soon as he felt the sand beneath his feet, he began to run. The happy boy ran and ran, all the way to his parents' house. When he finally reached home, Naoki turned around to thank his noble friend, but the dragon was gone. The sea was as smooth as glass, as if nothing had happened. Now it's spring, and today is Koi Nobori, a children's festival. 1,001 carp fish float in the wind, their bodies made of humble cloth. Naoki looks proudly at his fluttering streamer. It swims in the wind, side by side with those of Taro, his father, and Aki, his mother. All three seem carried by a great wave filled with love. Joyful laughter is everywhere, for Naoki has grown bigger. The Great Wave Off Kanagawa by Katsushika Hakusai. Hakusai made The Great Wave as part of a picture series called 36 Views of Mount Fuji. You can also hear The Great Wave in a musical piece called La Mer, The Sea, by a French composer, Claude Debussy. Debussy once said that Hakusai's colored woodcut inspired him to write this piece.